Hello, and welcome back to Let's Replay Mystery Case Files Escape from Ravenhearst. I'm MCFPapa, and this is part number 8. There's a manhole here, so just spray it up with some liquid nitrogen and smash it. Convenient.
I broke my arm.
Yeah.
Down here.
The voices were a trick this whole time. Who would have seen that coming? But anyway, we got our own reel to play.
Synopsis: patient number 7149, Charles Nathaniel Dalmar. Subject suffers from thought disorders manifested through the belief that he can create locks that bind a person's soul. Curiously, Mr. Dalmar claims to have learned said ability from his father in this institution. Ironically, his father was a patient in our care, but he died more than a year before his son was admitted. The cell that supposedly houses his father remains empty, save for an occasional raven that sneaks in to escape the cold. Dr. Robert Lanswiller, December 3rd, 1884.
Yeah, I think the Elephant Games developers heard this sort of thing and then came up with the concept of Tanados, Alistair's pet raven. I really doubt that Big Fish Studios were thinking about that already. And I don't know, how Alistair Dalmar apparently faked his death in the asylum and then got trapped in Madame Fate's ball or something. I don't know. Like I said, it doesn't totally make sense what they were between the different developers. So my guess is that Big Fish Studios really had their own separate plans that they never got to execute. Anyway, we can just mine our way out. Again, with the object's image staying larger at the image. And hey, we're right back out here. Still don't want to look down, I guess. I'm free. Like my wicked puppet master before me, I've escaped the asylum, as well as the confines of the madness beneath Ravenhearst Manor. Although tempted to scale the rocky cliffside and make a hasty retreat, my duty as a detective and my anger toward Charles Dalmar strengthened my resolve to see this situation through to the bitter end. Unfortunately, I've a feeling my adversary feels confident in knowing I won't turn tail and run away. Only 2 remain. And we can take the ladder back. Even though you can backtrack to this part of the game, there really isn't much left to do in this part. I would have liked there to be at least something more substantial here. There's this door token. There's the V puzzle, which we still can't even do yet. And then there's the wires and the intercom, which you can finally, after so much time, finally clip them all off. I guess they're still usable. Oh, that was a creepy sound. Maybe their thought process is you hadn't, done this morphing object scene for the B key yet? Or something? I don't know. And also, for some reason, you can't just jump down the grave to the other main chamber. You gotta go the long way around. That seems like a missed opportunity. Can't even use the gear shift now. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. Though at least they did actually bother pointing out that the recording's been silenced. Did they point that out on this grate too? No. See, the beauty about these Big Fish Studios games is they're so well detailed that even after innumerable times playing through these games, I'm able to still find new stuff in playthroughs to talk about that I'd never noticed before. And in case you're wondering what the wires are for, you go back to the house and finally put them in here. And you can do one, and that will produce tears from the mannequin. Oh, you can't do more? Yeah. But you can do any amount if you want to. If you want to be more cruel, you can do 4, which really gives them a walloping. But anyway, now with the tears, you can finally do the sleeping potion. Isn't that Sigmund Freud? I think that's Sigmund Freud. Another case in point of constantly noticing stuff. I never noticed that picture before. Well, I probably noticed the picture, but I didn't recognize it as Sigmund Freud. And I have all the tokens now all charged up. I could put them in if I really wanted to, but I'll wait till this area's done. You see now, with the sleeping agent, they're all docile now. And now this is interesting because all the morphing objects are split into all these little scenes. I wonder if this was where they got their idea for how hidden object scenes worked in Shadow Lake, with you going into a lot of other mini vignettes to find them all. And you can tell you got all of them in a vignette because they aren't able to go in them anymore. And if you click a bunch, so something... Oh, I guess something won't actually get returned to a vignette you already were at. Like you already completed, but they will go back to the one you're in, I guess. The ghosts, instead of just unlocking the door this time, they just destroy the whole thing. Find something new. No unauthorized contact ever. Ooh, danger. Aw. Aw. I wonder if you could actually somehow manage to guess the correct passcode, since it's randomized and on a time limit. Though I probably doubt it's possible. A potion concocted in the lab did the trick by subduing my mannequin oppressors, though I need to move quickly here should I too fall asleep from the noxious fumes. I'm having second thoughts about carrying this innocuous-looking bit of jewelry after witnessing the awesome force displayed by Emma's locket on the security door. That thing must have weighed half a ton. Oh, so maybe, like, the locket's pre-infused with spiritual powers? No. I don't know how they're able to still offer assistance when they're trapped. Weird. Beyond the gated cell block, I've encountered a crumbling dead end as a large section of the institution's walls have collapsed. 2 doors protected by electronic locks block access to the maximum security cells, and timers on the locks suggest some kind of rotating combination. If the combination changes all the time, how am I going to find a sequence of numbers that'll get me inside? Door ripped right off. And the morphing object here is the 5 there. So the one number to find is here. Flipping through the cameras to there, 34408. And like they say, it's constantly changing, so you just gotta be quick. And you can, if you're having trouble figuring out which door's which, you can look on the timer to see which one matches up. Anyway, this ladder has had a long journey. We used it to climb up to get an eye and return to Ravenhearst, then to climb down from the second floor in return to Ravenhearst, then to get across the cliffs in this game, and now to get up here. Even though here, the ladder really doesn't look anything like the one from Return to Ravenhearst, because its rungs are more flat and rectangular instead of rounded. Anyway, 52419 is the passcode. I will say it does give quite a good sense of connectivity, having like this wing to the one side, this wing to the other, and then like you go in the courtyard, it's the other side of the staircase, and you can look into the other window on that side of the asylum. Really well thought out mapping for the whole thing. And hey, more Charles.
The suffering I endured in this place was made bearable by a man I came to know as my father. He taught me to channel my hatred into creating locks that keep others from causing me pain. Once I had the knowledge to create such devices, no door would ever again confine me. That's when I planned my escape.
Now here we can see Charles in his little dollhouse with all the other people. Blackpool Public Academy would like to extend a warm welcome to its faculty's newest member, Emma Ravenhearst. Miss Ravenhearst joins us all the way from the farmlands of the Great States, and she shall preside over our second-year students. The autumn formal this year is to be held in her honor, and we humbly welcome all residents to come greet Miss Ravenhearst with your gracious hospitality. We believe she will live a long and storied life within our thriving community. I'm sure she will, huh? I wonder how Charles got access to a modern newspaper in the asylum. You'd think they'd want him, like all the patients, cut off from the outside world. And now, well, I'll read this journal. I finally gained access to a recreation of the cell that housed Charles Dalmar in the lunatic asylum. The most obvious item of note is a large wooden dollhouse containing the effigies of that almost certainly represent Rose, Emma, and the twins. In case that wasn't disturbing enough, a series of other dolls hang above the house with their feet tethered by green string. A news article detailing Emma Ravenhearst's arrival in Blackpool hangs amid several strange illustrations, and a locked tome resides atop a roll-top desk. I have a feeling I won't like what's in that book, but my survival may hinge on getting it open. The morphing object here is the blanket. And if you remember from Dr. Robert Lanswiller's audio log, the patient number's 7149. I thought, my father has taught me much about life, love, and revenge. With the aid of chemicals acquired in the lab, I will soon bid adieu to the asylum and begin a courtship that shall bear the fruits of my own family. But first, I must return home and kiss Mother farewell. Many nights have I dreamt of returning home to prepare one last delicious snack for dear Mother. After years of suffering within this tiny cell, the date of my abdication shall soon arise. And Charles is so smart using words like abdication. My suspicions about lab chemicals providing the catalyst for my captor's escape have proven accurate, assuming the contents of this diary are truthful. Although I have gleaned no additional information on Charles's mysterious father, I think it's pretty clear what became of dear Mother. He made me ride his coattails this far. I don't suppose I'm getting out of here without paying her a visit myself. Just looking at the numbering of journal entries, I think I might have missed some morphing objects, but I will go back for them at the end of the series if I missed any. Here he's already drawing concept art for his soul chambers that we see in Return to Ravenhearst, or maybe this is just them reusing some of the old game's artwork that they created instead of coming up with new stuff. And get a jump scare from the Raven. Excuse you, game. It's not an occasional crow appearing through the hole. Is it? I really doubt they would have bothered to put a crow there instead of a raven, given that the whole theming of the game is there's ravens everywhere, and it's called Ravenhearst. And now I guess the crow's gone. I don't know where it went. And there's the camera from before, and nothing else special in here but the something blue graphic. The cell accessed via the security monitor is virtually empty, save for the camera that allowed me to view the door's combination from afar. The only pertinent detail in the tiny cell is another odd photograph taped up on the rear wall. I say another because this is not the first such photo I've encountered in or near the asylum. What new game is my adversary wishing to play? And the morphing object here is the wheel there. I have a bad feeling about this. Yeah. Now, something interesting, though, is that the journal page unlocks when you find something blue, but if you haven't actually investigated and found the other images, they'll be missing here until you actually go and find them. I'm not sure if you can even find what's hidden, like the cranks that are hidden behind them, without finding the pictures. But anyway, like and subscribe if you want. I'll see you next time when we go back and pay another visit to dear old mother. See you then.